the planet. Okay, they dwelt in the caves, they came out of the caves, and they went out there to rule the whole world. But the pride of their hearts deceived them into thinking what? That they was going to further their agenda, man. They was going to just have it to where their houses was going to be out there forever and ever. Matter of fact, if we go into the book of Malachi right quick as a quick segue, okay, the book of Malachi, I believe it's in the first chapter. Shit. Okay, bear with me. I think it's in the book of Malachi, the first chapter. Okay. Okay, Malachi 1 and 4. Okay, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and rebuild the desolate places, which is what they did. Okay, and thus saith the Lord, they shall build, but I will throw down. Okay, so they're proud because they think that the Lord, okay, they'll have the people believe that the Lord ain't going to return and throw them down. Okay, they'll have the people believe that what? That they're just going, their continuing thought, like the scripture says, is that their continuing thought is their houses shall continue. But when you go into the scriptures, you find out that the judgment of Esau's, man, it's in there, man. Okay, you had it to where certain empires were prophesied against. Okay, namely, or was it Nineveh? Okay, and the man Jonah went out there into Nineveh and they prophesied against it, and the Most High spared them for a certain amount of time. But that's just the book of Jonah. You go into the book of Isaiah, it's talking about Edom being destroyed. You go into the book of Malachi, it's talking about Edom being destroyed. Obadiah, all of the scriptures, all speaking about this one nation being destroyed. The Most High wasn't going to suffer their wickedness, man. Okay, when their time came, okay, it was going to come, they was going to be removed. Okay, so back within the book of Obadiah, the first chapter, and the third verse, it says, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, because their continual thought is that their houses was going to continue forever. Their thinking is that they're going to remove the 12 tribes of Israel and stop them from being a nation. That's within the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Okay, Psalms 83. Okay, Psalms 83 and 1, it says, Psalms 83 and 2, it says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult. Okay, they that hate thee have lifted up their head. What's that talking about? That's talking about that pride, man. Okay, they have lifted up their head. Okay, they have taken crafty counsel against an anointed, which is what? The 12 tribes of Israel. And really, ultimately, when they take the counsel they have taken against the whole nation is what? Okay, is a counsel they've taken against the whole world, man. Okay, we ain't talking about poisoning the food so that you attack a particular nation. All of these nations are eating the same damn food. Okay? They're taking crafty counsel against an anointed. That's why when you go to where the 12 tribes of Israel is going to be set up upon the face of the earth, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, okay, and all of the Israelites scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, that's why it's going to be such a beautiful thing. The whole earth was going to be at rest. Because why? Because you was going to have just utter wickedness and utter devastation and death removed from the world, man. Okay? So it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So that's what they're trying to do. And that's the deception that the pride, that's how the pride has deceived them. Because in their mind, they're actually thinking that they're going to do certain things to remove that nation, okay, from the earth, and therefore to further their so-called blessing, which was to rule the world by the sword. And it won't going to happen like that. Okay? Rather, the more they was going to push against this word, the harder this word was going to come out. Okay, that's why you got it to where you got camps popping up all over the place. Because why? We're in the last times. We're in the last days of the last days. Okay, and the Most High's got the word going out there. All right. So it says, back within the book of Obadiah, the first chapter, and this is the third verse. It says, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Okay, that's part of their pride. Their pride is thinking, look, nobody gonna take us down. You look at the American government, man. Okay, they think they go, they think they go all of these aircraft carriers, man. Okay, they go all of these fighter jets. Okay, all of these ICBM nuclear missiles. They're like, look, nobody's gonna take us down, man. We can go to a country, we can take whatever we want, and no one's gonna retaliate. And that's true. They can go out there and if they wanted to, okay, they could go out there into Syria and take a large. They have gone out there into Syria and taken a large stake and control of Syria, and they find up against what the Russians, which is another. They're Edomites too. So they're underneath the same vibration as the American government, because they're both Edomites. They just Edomite, which what's known as white on white crime. Okay, you got black on black crime. You got some niggas out there within the streets fighting over a block. Well, you got what's known as white on white crime, which is the Americans fighting against the Russians. It's the part of the same nation known as the nation of the Edomites, man. And they was going to mutually destroy each other. And also, too, the Lord was going to come in as they're destroying each other to destroy them even further, to leave them neither root nor branch, of which leaving them neither root nor branch was going to be completely executed within the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay? So it says that, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's what they say. Okay, their military might is so strong they can't, never be destroyed. They're never gonna be removed from the earth or from the power seat. Okay, that's their thinking. But the fact of the matter is, that's not what the Most High set up. In fact, when we go into the scriptures, this would be a good time to get into Isaiah the 63rd chapter and Second Ezra the 13th chapter. When you go into the scriptures, you find out it wasn't going to be no powerful nation that's going to take this man down. That's why this whole thing of black militia groups, it will never going to work, man. Okay, when you go into the scriptures tell you that this man was blessed with a sword. So they was going to bring forth an instrument of their work, and through that instrument, the ICBM nuclear missile or whatever it was, which is unmatched, okay, unparalleled amounts of power, okay, they was going to rule the world, and they was going to be unchallenged, okay. They was going to be unchallenged, but see, the pride has deceived them in thinking that the Most High they could fight up against the Most High. They could have it to where they could rule perpetually and fight against all people and all nations, and including that they was going to fight up against the Most High when it was the Most High that put it within their spirit to come out with that technology, man. Okay, so the book of Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, and the first verse says, who is this that cometh from Edom, with thy garments from Bosra, the principal cities within the land of the ancient Edom, okay, or which when you apply it to modern days, you find out this is talking about the same people just moved into different lands. Bosra and Edom, that could be out there in America or Germany or something like that, okay, because that's where the people have migrated. Okay, but it's still talking about the same nation. It's the same thing when you're dealing with the Jerusalem. The real the people of Jerusalem ain't out there within Jerusalem right now. Okay, you might have a remnant, but the real people of Jerusalem ain't in the land out there. So you go to the book of Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, on the 4th verse, it says going through the midst of Jerusalem. It don't mean to actually go out there into the midst of Jerusalem, the land itself, but rather the people, because all of these nations are a people before they are a place. Okay, and the same thing goes for what? For Bosra and Edom. Okay, that is traveling in the greatness of his strength. And the Lord said, I, that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Okay, wherefore art thou in red and thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat, since I've trodden the wine press alone, and of the people that was none with me, I will tread them in mine anger. So the Most High was going to tread these people in his anger. Why was he angry? Because they had touched the apple of his eye, man. Okay, he's fervent lover. Okay, remember the scripture talks about how the nation of Israel, okay, was likened unto the Most High's lover, man. Okay, and it's so having it to where you got it to where a whole host of Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans were killed off in captivity, okay, in slavery. Okay, the Most High had a particular judgment that was going to come upon the earth to the people that afflicted his nation, man, because that was the apple of the Most High's eye. He saw that, okay. And then when you go into the scriptures, you find out the Most High is hastening to bring about that judgment upon that nation. Okay, he's looking forward to that. Okay. So it says, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat. I've trodden the wine press alone, and of the people that was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment, and I will strain all my raiment. And the scripture says, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So that's the spirit, okay, that the Lord is returning it. To the end, when you go into the scriptures, it said the scriptures talks about how when the Lord come, he wasn't coming to bring a peace. Okay, he was bringing war. Okay, he didn't come to bring peace, but a sword. That's what the scripture says. Okay, the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter, starting from the top, he says, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream. Okay, by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved the waves. And I beheld, lo, a man strong with the thousands of heaven. Okay, and when he looked his countenance to look, and all things trembled that was seen underneath him. Okay, so this is talking about when the Lord was going to come back, okay, and how he was going to come back with that fathership. A lot of people, when they see them UFOs, they don't apply it to the scriptures. Really, when you go into the scriptures, they knew about the UFOs, which are IFOs, identifiable flying objects, which we know through the scriptures as the chariots. Okay, the chariots of salvation. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Okay, which is a strange thing, but the scriptures talk about the salvation being a strange thing. Okay, here it is. You got it to where the whole world is underneath a ruler. Okay, that's got a nuclear capable ICBM. That's got control. He's watching you as you're out there with your girl. Having a little you time. He's there watching it. Okay, you're out there on the street driving somewhere. He's recording every piece of it, every movement of it. Okay. So you was gonna need an extraterrestrial power that's got power beyond what his surveillance. Okay, his nuclear weapons. You was gonna need something from the out of the earth to be able to beat that, and that's exactly what the Lord's bringing, man. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, on the 1st verse, it says, "And then shall the righteous man be standing in great boldness." And this is what we're doing right now, man. We're standing in great boldness. We're telling these people they're the devil. Okay, we're telling these different nations, these heathen nations, that they're going into slavery. Okay. So the righteous man was going to stand in great boldness because he was going to have the conviction of pushing this word. He was going to have it within his mind and saying, "Look, hold on a minute. This is what the scripture says. This is what the different prophecy says. Let me go do the job, the bidding, okay, the work the Messiah has told me to do, which was to push this word." And you got some guys out there, they go out there and push this word one day, and the next week they're out there, chilling in the Bahamas somewhere. That ain't the man of the Lord. The scripture talks about how the sluggard, the sluggard was going to not do the work by reason of cold. But see, the scripture talks about how you're supposed to present yourself as a living sacrifice, being bold, okay, because the Most High put a spirit of boldness upon us to what? To curse these people out. Now when rest is going to come when the Lord returns, man. You check out the scripture says we was supposed to be likened unto Yahweh Shai. When Yahweh Shai was on the scene, the Lord, whom the world calls ignorant, calls Jesus. When he was on the scene, he was hella working, man. Okay? He didn't go out there and take some hiatus. Now, I'm not saying you can't take a day off here and there, but when it comes to the Saturday, man, don't touch my Saturday. Okay? Because that's the time when you're supposed to be doing the bidding, whatever day it is, that's when you were supposed to be doing the work of the Lord, man. And really, every day you were supposed to be doing the work of the Lord. You check out them different men and really that's how we got it easier, and the men out here now are soft. Because when you had it to where the Lord was on the scene, okay, and I'm going in a slightly different direction, I'll come back, okay, but when the Lord was on the scene, okay, and he was teaching with them men, he required it that they left their families, man, their businesses. Here it is now, you're in Babylon, you got an iPhone in your pocket, you can keep your business and still push this word. Okay, you can still keep your family and still push this word. But when the Lord was on the scene, man, he was going from city to city, okay, from place to place, and your family's in a particular land, man, you was leaving them, and they want there wasn't no iPhone to text them, "Oh, hey, honey, how you doing?" Okay, you wasn't gonna leave look, I'm gonna be back in a month and take care of handle business up. No, it wasn't like that. So they had it a lot harder. But see, we were supposed to be likened unto them. You got some guys falling off of 3 videos a week. That's completely ridiculous, man. But going back onto the point here, the scripture says that what? "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him, and made no account of his labors." And this is talking about how Esau has oppressed us, okay? And he'll make it look like as the scripture says, that whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Here it is, they killed all kind of Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. Okay? Negroes were getting killed, lynched, whipped, and now it's just like, you ain't supposed to be talking about that. We ain't guilty of that. Okay? But see, the scripture says that the Most High remembers, and the Most High was going to put a heavy judgment upon them for doing that. Okay? So it says there, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the faces of such as afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. Okay, when they shall see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation." Okay? And that's dealing with the strangeness of our salvation. Because when they see the chariots of the Lord, the fellowship coming, they're going to be like, "Damn, that's how they're going to leave this?" And that's talking about the lower level, your lower level European, because they're thinking that, Jake is just going to be in that position forever and ever, man. Okay? They're thinking that Jake is just going to be just in there in slavery forever and ever. But rather, the Most High has got salvation set up in heaven for them. And he was going to come and he was going to redeem his people. Okay? Going back onto the book of 2 Ezra, the 13th chapter, which is talking about the strangeness of Jake's salvation. Okay? So, 2 Ezra 13, and this is the 3rd verse, 2 Ezra 13 and 3, it says, "Behold, and lo, a man struggled with a man. Behold, and lo, a man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven." Okay, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. Okay, so let's go to Isaiah 66 and 15. I think I prepared a precept here. Precept. Oh, here we go. Isaiah 66:15, it says, "For behold, the Lord will come with a fire." Okay, that they don't teach you that within the churches. They ain't teaching you the Lord is coming with fire. They're saying the Lord's gonna come and bring peace upon the earth, of which He's gonna do. But the way they teach you in the churches, they tell you that everyone's just gonna stop fighting and everyone's just gonna be at peace with each other. No, that's not what the scripture says, man. There's a great vengeance that's gonna be taken, man. A great amount of judgment that's going to be played out when the Lord comes back, so the scales of justice may be balanced. You got the so-called ministry of justice within the UK. They ain't doing nothing but wickedness, man. Okay? You got a so-called justice system within the United States, and they allow an illegal system out there that allows what? That allows white empowerment, and you got it to where Jake's out there by way of systematic oppression are out there in the jail cells. They're out there being caught for doing minor crimes that Esau's out there, just doing out and out fraud, and he gets a slap on the wrist, man. Okay? He just gets a slap on the wrist. So there's going to be a great judgment, a great balancing of the scales that's going to happen when the Lord comes upon the scene. Remember, the scripture says that what? Seeing it is a righteous thing to recompense them that trouble you. That's what the Lord's going to do. He's going to be balancing the scales, man. The scripture says that what? The scripture says that what? An unbalanced weight, okay, is unjust with the Most High. So you got to where this nation oppressed the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they was going to be oppressed too. Let's get that within the scriptures right quick. The book of Revelations, the 13th chapter. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me go to back to Obadiah at some point. Okay, the book of Revelations 13. And Revelations 13:9, it says, "If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." So you got to where the saints was going to be on the scene pushing the word. You got to look forward to certain things. Okay, and they was looking forward to what? The retribution coming back upon the judgment coming upon their enemies, man. That's what they was looking forward to. Okay, they was going to push this word on account that what? They knew through the scriptures that there was going to be a judgment played up upon their enemies, namely the elite banking families, which their money was known as old money, goes back onto slavery. Okay, you got Tate and Lyle, the big sugar company, they're making hella money, their money goes back onto slavery. Okay, all of these big corporations, Barclays, their money, that would, like what's known as old money, okay, that goes back onto what? That goes back onto slavery, man. Okay, so it says here, back within the book of Isaiah, back within the book of 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter on the 4th verse, it says, "Whensoever his voice went out, his mouth, and all they that heard his voice, okay, like as the earth when it feeleth the fire." Okay, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the earth to subdue that man. Okay, so you got it to where World War III is going to be played out as spoken about within the book of Joel. Okay, I was in the 2nd chapter or the 3rd chapter. And as they're fighting against each other, they're going to leave from the war that they have with each other. They're going to fight up against the Lord. And I think it's going to say that. But beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Okay, that's that chariot, that big father ship. They show you that on movies like Independence Day. And behold, I would have seen the region of the place where the hill was graven, but I could not. Okay, so he saw like a massive chariot, looked like a big mountain, and he's looking for the place where the mountain was cut. Okay, the place where the mountain was taken from. Okay, the region, because you got people thinking of the chariots, they're gonna be like metallic or whatever. Moses can make it look like any material, man. Okay, he can make a chariot look like grass, man. So he was looking for this mountain, and he couldn't see where the mountain was cut from. Okay, it says here, but I would have seen the region or the place where the hill was or graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, okay, they was gathered together a multitude to subdue him, and they were so afraid, but they still does fight. And that's where the pride comes into it, because they fear the Lord. Okay, but their pride deceives them into fighting. It's going to actually deceive them into fighting against the Lord. Okay, it says, and lo, and he was as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his sword, neither held his sword, not any instrument of war, but only saw as it was sent unto him out of his mouth, okay, as it were a blast of fire, and his lips a burning breath, and out of his tongue sparks and tempests. So he set out that instruction, man. Okay, destroy, and then the destruction came. With all these subordinate chariots that came underneath, that came out of that father ship. So let's go into this scripture. Revelation 12:7, it says, and there was war in heaven, which is the same account we're reading here within the second Ezra, just written a little bit different. Okay, there was war in heaven, Michael and his angels, okay, which is like the head general underneath Yahweh Shai, okay, for that army of angels. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Who's the dragon? Okay, that old, what does it say? It's going to tell you that old serpent, going back onto what? The Garden of Eden, okay, and going into Esau, okay? And Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought with his angels and prevailed not, so they wasn't going to win. Now you got into where these other nations, when they saw them different chariots and that, okay, they didn't fight against them, man. I know they might have done so, but they still, you know, the pride of Esau is that he's thinking is that they're actually going to prevail. Okay, they thinking that they're going to win. They ain't going to win. Okay, you all right there, mate?
Yeah, good mate, yeah.
Yeah? You know what that is? You read the Bible?
No, I don't read it, no.
Okay, so within the Bible, there is a nation that was going to come upon the earth, and they was going to destroy a hell of a lot of people. Okay, that's known as the beast, the red beast. Okay, now when you go into different, the Bible, couples, you know about the Babylonians, the ancient Babylonians?
Yeah.
They had a beast that was likened unto it. So did the Greeks, and so does America. Okay, America and NATO are likened unto this red dragon here, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and America is the woman that sits upon it. Okay, because when NATO goes out there into Syria, America is the one that calls the call. That's what this image represents. And this is a biblical image. Meaning to say the times that we're living in right now,
it's been prophesied.
It's been prophesied, exactly. So when you read the Bible and you read this beast, if you're actually being literal and you're not taking the metaphorical for the literal and literal for the metaphorical, then you could clearly say, you can clearly see rather more, we're in the time of the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, we're in a time where the woman with the golden cup, spoken about within the Bible, is ruling the world. Now I'm gonna tell you something about that golden cup. That golden cup is those philosophies